Good afternoon and welcome to Customer FX Training Webinars. My name is Dale Richter and today we're going to be talking about joins in the SalesLogix web client or the SalesLogix Cloud. Now before we go into the web client and look at joins themselves, I just wanted to go over what a join is. When you join two tables to each other using identical data, this is called a join. So for example, from the contact table to the account table, in each table you have an account ID. You can join these two tables together using the account ID because they're exactly the same data in each table. Let me look at another example here. Here we have three different types of joins that we can have. We have an inner join, a left join, and a right join. In the example I'm showing you here, I'm going to be using two different tables, the opportunity table and the activity table. Each one of these tables contain the opportunity ID, so they can be joined together with the opportunity ID. Opportunities can exist without associated activities, and activities can exist without being related to an opportunity. In this example, the opportunity and activity records we're going to use to demonstrate the different types of join, resulting in different records being selected. So here we have an opportunity table with 5 different opportunities and an activity table with 7 different activities. There are 5 opportunities, 7 activity records. Only opportunity records number 1, 4, and 5 have activities, and only activities 3, 4, and 6 are associated with an opportunity. So if we have an inner join includes only the records where the values in the fields you are joining are the same in both the source and the selected table. It's a default type of join for local joins. So here you have opportunities 1, 4, and 5 that are associated with activities 3, 4, and 6. So it would only show those records that have data in each table. Let's look at the next type. In the left type of join, everything in the opportunity table would show, that's the left table, and only the things in the activity table that are associated with an opportunity. So everything in the left table, only the things in the right table that are associated. And lastly, we have our right join, where everything in the right table would show, but only the things in the left table that are associated with something in the right table. Let me show you a little more practical usage of this in real life in our actual database. So let me switch over here to the web client and we'll continue on. Okay, here I am in the web client, and I'm just going to go over to the list view in Contacts. In the list view in Contacts, I've already created a group called Joins. In this group called Joins, I have 151 records, as we can see up on the top of the screen here. I'm going to go in and edit that group just by right-clicking and choosing Edit. Here it pops up my query builder, and now I can go over and look at the conditions of this group. And the only condition I have set in this group is that the account manager should be equal to Lee Hogan. In the layout of this group, I actually have the description of the lead source, and I just want to remove that once, and then we'll look at our group again. So I'm going to delete that field from my layout, click on OK. And you see here, now I have 277 records, whereas before I had 151. What is the difference there? Okay, let me go in and edit that group again so I can show you. Here's the query builder again. So what we've done is actually went into our contact lead source, expanded that, and then I went to lead source. You'll notice that these are inner joins. And this is where I actually chose the description. I'm going to go to my layout, chose the description from my lead source table and drug it down into my layout. Now, because this is an inner join from contact to lead source, only the data that has a lead source and has a contact will show up. So if it's linked by contact ID. So if there's no lead source description, then it's not going to show up in our group. And that's why our numbers change for the group. So what we'd actually have to do is go in and edit that join and change it from an inner join to a left join. So if I go into global joins here, and open up my global joins window, I would be able to find that join. So here's our joins. I'm going to scroll down and find my contact table. And my contact table is associated with the contact lead source right here. Now, I went in earlier and created a left join. So actually an IIS reset would have to be done in order for this to take effect on your live database. But when that's done, there would then be a left join, and it would show all the records in the contact table, whether they had a lead source or not. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. Let's look at another couple of examples here. Down in the bottom, if we look at the user info table, you can see that those joins have been joined to the user info table a couple different times because they joined on the create user for this join to the user info, and on this one they joined to the modify user. So depending on what kind of information you would want in the layout of your group here would depend on which join you wanted. So let's say we're looking at contacts, but we wanted the create user listed in our layout. We would have to then go to the user info, join to the user info table, to the create user field. So it's the create user in the contact table versus the user ID in the user info table. And they did create that as an inner join. Again, I would recommend left joins. So everything in the left table would always show up, whether there was information in the right table or not. So I hope this helps you a little bit in creating joins. Again, you can create a join from one table to another table as long as you're joining the same data. So you could join contact ID to another contact ID, accounting ID to accounting ID. Sometimes the information can be different, or that field names can be different, but that is very rare. One instance of that is from the contact table, you can use the account manager ID and join that to the user info table to the user ID. It's the same information, it's just differently named fields. So it takes a little bit of studying in the database to know which tables you can join to which. Sometimes you have to jump from one table to another table to a third table in order to join the right information. So watch carefully what you're joining together. There is such a thing as a circular join. If you create a circular join by accident, your group may not show up. So be a little bit careful. You can do not permanent damage, but by creating a join that's circular, you may not be able to see that data. So you'd have to remove that join, and then everything would come back again. So you do have to be a little bit careful in creating joins. I want to thank you for joining me today, and have a great afternoon.